We can't be blamed for our fixation with Harley Quinn. We mean, look at her. She's an absolutely powerful icon, especially the way we see her in Birds of Prey. The ultimate boss girl is enough on her own, but it's also pretty nice to imagine her romancing Poison Ivy, especially because we've seen them do it in the comics. And Margot Robbie agrees. Let's see how badly she's been pushing for this ship to finally sail. First off, she wants things to get steamy between the two. Looking at Quinn's character arc and the fact that she eventually got portrayed as a crazy strong woman, we'd obviously be imagining an equal to date her. And who is better than Poison Ivy for this? After having played Harley's character in both the Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey, we aren't sure if Margot is even coming back to her role anymore. Still, the actor has expressed that she truly wants to play her in the future, considering how attached she got to this project. And we're all for it, looking at just how well the character fits her personality and everything. But when talking about the future, fans are dying to see her get together with Ivy, and we're super excited about the fact that she's just as into the idea as we are. In an interview, she elaborated that she's been pushing for this to happen for years, and that she can't even put into words how badly she wants it to work out. Her enthusiasm isn't just cute, it also justifies our need for this romance, because it will truly add more spice to Quinn's entire character. Since we don't even know who could play Ivy, we asked the actress if she can imagine any particular actor to play the role, and she simply answered that she can only think of the character from the comics when she thinks of her. Whoops, those are indeed some pretty high expectations. Coming up, who could possibly play Poison Ivy? As of yet, her character doesn't exist in the DCU, and we genuinely don't know why. Fans have been on their knees begging for the character to finally enter the franchise, but there seem to be no plans so far. Regardless, that has left us all a lot of time to wonder what she'd look like, and fans already have a list of possible actresses who'd fit seamlessly into the role. These include Emma Stone, Karen Gillan, and Christina Hendricks. Some other fans have also thought of actors like Jodie Comer, Tiana Paris, and Ana de Armas, all of whom seem to have this magical aura around them. We simply can't choose which one of them would be able to do the role justice, but honestly, any of them could. The creators just have to listen to us and give us what we need. And indeed, we aren't alone in asking for Poison Ivy's appearance. Kathy Yan, who created Birds of Prey, also thinks that it would be a pretty great idea to see the bond between Quinn and Ivy. She would even like to include the character in future follow-up films, which does bring us a lot of hope. It really doesn't matter if the two have a full-blown romance or just a nice, cute little friendship. We simply want them to be on screen together. Now that James Gunn has already given Harley a short-lived love story in the Suicide Squad, it seems like the character is ready for some well-needed action. Finally, when is Quinn returning to the screens again? Yes, we know that the Suicide Squad just came out last year, but we already miss her iconic character. Plus, the fact that no announcements have been made about the future makes it even worse, as we have too much time to just sit and wonder. But the possibilities for her are a lot, especially after how her film from last year ended. Since they've finally started working on her character individually rather than looking at her through Joker's lens, she has become an irresistibly amazing force who can do anything she wants. On the other hand, even though Margot won't be playing the role anytime soon, Lady Gaga will be Harley in Joker Folie à Deux. Don't worry, because that doesn't mean that the former actress has been replaced, considering how it isn't even in the same universe as DCEU. But Robbie was super excited about an entirely different perspective on her character, hyping Gaga up about her future role and talking about how she had always imagined Quinn to be an evergreen character. Just like Batman lives on, regardless of the actor playing it, Harley could also be a character who gets played portrayed in every actor's unique style, and that is something that female characters don't really get to have. In the end, we just have to wait until they start making a follow-up movie for the character's brand new adventures. Now, moving on to Robbie's vision of Pirates of the Caribbean. To start, this genius of a female-led spinoff shouldn't be wasted. When we first got to hear about this project, it was almost unbelievable, simply because we'd never thought of the possibility. But soon after, the star informed Vanity Fair that the project has been buried at Disney. But now, Bruckheimer was retracting her remarks recently, as we saw him in an interview with Collider, stating that the destiny of the film we'd been super hyped about is far from being entirely ruined. He believed that the script would probably come forth at some point, but he also said something very surprising. Apparently, they are working on 2 alternative stories for pirates, and the other one is moving forward first, so their focus has been diverted toward getting the other storyline made before they can move on to this project. After he revealed that a second future Pirates movie was written concurrently with the female-led feature, he clarified that they finally opted to put Robbie's movie on hold while development on the other film continued. We think that it's more of a priority situation, and maybe eventually they'll return to turn her film into reality as well, but they've been careful not to give us unnecessary hope in that matter, as the creator has been very vague regarding the future of this idea. But we take what we can get. Just the fact that the filmmaker took his time to clarify that the Pirates movie isn't dead is enough for us to hope for the version we've all been dying for. Coming up, let's look at the history of the film's almost reboots. It seems that the franchise is doomed, considering how there have been too many failed attempts at trying to revive the Pirates movies. Deadpool screenwriters Reese and Wernick were hired in 2018 to draft a screenplay for a potential reboot of the series, bringing it in a whole new direction. But sadly, they all departed the project by early 2019, which was very disappointing for us. Even then, Disney didn't entirely bin the idea of rebooting it because it needed to be seen in a whole new light. So, after his well-known work on Chernobyl, Mazin was chosen as a writer to create another story for the franchise's rebirth at the end of 2019, and he was collaborating with Pirates veteran Elliot. The idea of restoring a well-known name like this movie appealed to the creators, especially given the challenges they encountered in trying to keep the original series alive. They wanted the movies to be more like Bond flicks or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we all know why that couldn't happen. However, starting from scratch may have allowed them to create new characters and mythology with long monologues in mind. When Margot Robbie's projected spinoff was added to the mix in 2020, the list of possibilities for this movie grew even larger. There were now 2 more movies available as options to further expand the Pirates universe, and in 2020, rumors arose that Disney was considering Karen Gillan as a potential new starring actor for the franchise. Finally, what do things look like now? After all the things we talked about, we can clearly see the history of this film's reboots that never got finalized, and it's apparent that the creators are having a pretty hard time. Robbie's film got confirmed almost 2 years ago when they announced that it would be written by Hodson and that the star would be playing the female lead role. She had been thoroughly involved in the planning, considering how she feels connected to projects where women get to have independent, powerful roles. And what better than to redefine an age-old movie that almost everybody has watched? In the interview, when the actress talked about this project, she sounded very final about the fact that they do not want to do this idea. Plus, seeing how they're prioritizing the alternative script over this one just says a lot already. All of this may confuse you, and honestly, all we can do is speculate at this point. But we do think that some doors are still open for Robbie's vision of the Pirates movie. And that's a wrap, folks. Do you think you'd like to see the Quinn and Ivy romance? Tell us in the comments below. And as always, make sure to click that like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on more updates about your favorite movies and shows. See you in the next one.